Hello beautiful beings, how are you today? In this video we are going to talk about subliminals. But before we get into this video, of course I'm going to pull an oracle card for you today. Today I have the Isis Oracle deck. Do me a favor, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Focus on these cards right in front of me. And of course, whenever you're seeing this video, this card is meant to be for you. And like I usually do, I'm going to split the deck in half. And this is your card for today. Magic and Ritual. Here's the back and then the front. Magic and Ritual. Effect in the external world can be created through your inner practice. Heart center ritual can support your inner path in your physical world. You are encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice as you grow in grace, love, ability, and wisdom, implying your inner beauty to transform your outer world. And that is your message for today. Let's get right into the topic of this video. So yes, today we are talking about subliminals. There are the good and the bad of subliminals. So your mind is such a powerful tool, probably more powerful than you would ever know unless you actually sit down and research how amazing your mind is. Your thoughts controls and acts how you go through life as the person you are. And you are able to control your thoughts consciously and subconsciously based on many techniques that you can encounter by researching. And you are able to change these thoughts by being aware of these techniques that have been used on you by many people. And now I think it's time for us to hone it in and to use it for ourselves as well. And by using these techniques, you're able to change your quality of life so much better and exactly to how you desire it. And on this channel, we already talked about the Schumann resonance and solfeggio frequencies that affects us in many different ways on a subconscious level. But today we are going to talk about subliminals and how we can add that to our belt of tools to really change your mind subconsciously. So what are subliminals? Subliminals are messages that are defined as signals below the absolute threshold of our consciousness, which can be also referred to our subconscious mind. Our subconscious is usually thoughts that we aren't aware of or we were aware of at some point of our lives that we are no longer aware of anymore. Usually this can be considered your memories, anything that you have experienced in the past, traumatic episodes of maybe your childhood, your beliefs, something that you was taught when you was younger, but now it is ingrained into you and you don't even think about it anymore. You do it subconsciously. This can even be skills. At one point you was learning something and now it comes to you like this. Anything that is kind of auto and you can just do without thinking is usually controlled by your subconscious mind. So all of that information is stored within our subconscious mind and can be used today, just not consciously. You're not aware of it. So there's two types of subliminals. We have audio and we have visual subliminals. Both are used on us every single day by people and by things that we see. I will break down what these two types of subliminals are and their subcategories, and we'll get more into depth. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit of how these subliminals work for you. So how do subliminals work? Well, we know that our mind is breaking up into two sections, which is the conscious mind and then the subconscious mind. I don't know if you guys have ever seen before, but I'm gonna put it up so you can see. Basically, our mind is an iceberg, right? So you can only see the top of the iceberg, but then there is a whole big piece below the water level that we cannot see, and that is considered our subconscious mind. So our conscious mind, we are able to experience things with awareness. Basically how my hands feel, I'm aware of how it feels, right? If I'm paying close attention to my feelings and how I feel about something on a conscious level, because sometimes it could go deeper than that, and maybe that's how you feel right now, but why is there a situation triggering you? There is a subconscious level to that, to get deeper and to really understand where is this hurt, why is something triggering you, right? So there's different levels. And another example of our conscious mind is basically things that we like. If you like pizza, you like pizza. There's nothing too in depth with that. Our subconscious mind, like I said before, are thoughts that we are not aware of at all. So another example that I can use is that we blink, right? We don't think about blinking like, oh, I have to blink right now, right? Or we don't think about breathing like, oh, I have to take a breath right now. When you aren't thinking about those things are controlled by your subconscious mind. Now, when you bring those things into awareness, it becomes something conscious. And so between our conscious and our subconscious mind, our subconscious is probably the most powerful thing out there. And let me explain. Like I said, it is something that is auto. It is something that you do without thinking. And that's why it can become so powerful. And that's why unlocking and really breaking the code to really reprogram and program your mind, your subconscious mind, can be really powerful. And this is why subliminals are amazing. They can hack your subconscious mind in an amazing type of way. When you are aware of it, you are able to hack your subconscious mind and reprogram the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act in a better way, and a way that you desire it to be. Now, this is a good thing, right? But falling into the wrong hands, this can also be a bad thing. People can use subliminals as a tool to program your mind to think the opposite of what you desire, what you actually desire, what you authentically desire. And we can be tricked by a lot of people. And yes, we are being subjected to subliminals all the time. And again, it's something that you are not aware of it because it is not brought to the conscious mind. It's something that is subconscious, and kind of like if you are aware of it, you would see it, but most of the time it's really hard to be aware of it. I will talk a little bit further into the details on the good and the bad, but let's go into the categories and talk about the two different types of subliminals. So let's talk about the first type of subliminal, which is visual subliminals. There are two types of visual subliminals, which are subvisuals and embeds. Let's talk about subvisuals first. So subvisuals are basically cues that kind of like flash in front of you that is really too quick for you to pick up, unless someone tells you, oh yeah, so there's gonna be a few words that's gonna flash. And even then, sometimes if people tell you, oh, there's gonna be a few words that are gonna flash on the screen, maybe you won't even catch it. Only your subconscious can catch it. This is why subconscious is a really powerful thing. So it's basically cues and words that flash up during a video, and there's also movement behind the video, and then these words just flash up. You might not think it does anything to you, but subconsciously it does. And the best example that I can use for this is a popular experiment by John Vickey in 1957. During the premiering of the trailer Picnic, he was able to put sub-visuals. I would say like it's a trailer. So during that section of the trailer, and it would be like hungry, eat popcorn. You're thirsty, drink Coca-Cola. And this was proven to be proven to have a huge effect on your subconscious mind. That day in the theater, there were more than 50% increase of people buying popcorn and buying Coca-Cola for their movie, which is like mind-blowing, right? How can something that flashes on the screen convince you so much? When your subconscious is being exposed by these subliminals, it digests this information fast, and you might think that these thoughts are natural to you when it comes to the conscious mind. Like, oh, I'm thirsty. Let me buy some Coca-Cola. But in reality, you're thirsty because your subconscious mind was able to digest this information, and since it was told to be thirsty and told to be hungry, that's why you desire those things. So I'm going to show you the little trailer of what I'm talking about, and pay really close attention and see if you can catch the subliminals or not. But let me put it up, and this is it. So the second type of visual subliminals are embeds. Embeds are exactly what they are. If you have ever made a cake before, you know, the little things that you put on top of your cake are embeds. A really popular example would be a Burger King ad. If I could find it, I'm gonna put it up. But basically, it's a Burger King ad that tells you the price, and then it shows you the hamburger, whatever it is, if it's a Whopper. So within the photo, they have embedded a dollar sign, like a dollar bill, within the lettuce. Listen, if someone were to show you that photo, you wouldn't even be able to see it at all. But if someone points it out, of course, I think you'll be able to see it. But even if you weren't able to find the embed, your subconscious mind was able to pick it up. So not only there are visual subliminals, there are audio subliminals. And I think this one is probably one of the most exposed that we get to, especially if you're really into music. Now, let's get into the two subcategories of audio subliminals. So the first one is subaudible. Subaudible are low tune messages that are basically embedded into really loud music, or it could be anything, you know, louder than what these low tune messages are. So they cannot be heard at all unless you extremely pick apart the track and you was given the whole track. You wouldn't be able to tell that there's a message in at all. But your subconscious is able to pick it up. Once again, like I said, and I'm gonna stress this enough, your subconscious is really dang powerful. So it's able to hear these low tone messages and embed it within you. So you are really unaware of the things that you are digesting in your everyday life, and even in the music that you listen to. This can even go so far as music and TV shows, music and movies, or even sometimes it could be even powerful messages of a person talking, but really low that you can't hear it at all. There is another message being told. So the second auto subliminal is black masking. So what that is basically a video message is recorded backwards so that the original message that they're trying to convey to you is disguised when played forward. You'll only be able to tell if you were to listen to a lot of your music backwards. There is and could be another message that is being conveyed to you that your subconscious is picking up, and that you probably thinking you're ingesting maybe good music and you're feeling it, but in reality it's telling you something different. So a popular example of black masking is the Beatles. The song number 9 on their album is actually a black masking song, if that's what you would like to call it. I don't know. In that song, the phrase number 9 is repeated over again. When played backwards, it's telling you something totally different. Playing number 9 backwards, what it's actually repeating is "Turn me on, dead man." Now, you can take that message with whatever you think it actually means, but I'm letting you be more aware of what you're digesting. If you think it's not a bad thing, maybe it's not a bad thing. If you think it's a bad thing, maybe it's a bad thing. And I am bringing this to your awareness for you to realize that a lot of what we digest can also be bad subliminals. So basically, this leads to programming and reprogramming your mind. Okay, so now you know all the different types of subliminals. And now you also know that you are being controlled by subliminals without your consent. And you know that you can use subliminals with your consent and by your digression. We are constantly being exposed by subliminals time and time again. Whether it's music, whether it's movies, TV shows, there are words sometimes hidden in plain sight that we cannot see consciously, but subconsciously we are able to see it. And sometimes it's not even just movies and TV shows, it's books, it's media, newspaper, convincing you and basically telling you how to feel, how to act, how to behave. It's all subconsciously. Sometimes it's even wordplay. Sometimes phrasing things a certain way, people will know that if they phrase it a certain way, they can get to you subconsciously and make you feel something that maybe if you wasn't exposed to these subliminals, you wouldn't have feel to begin with. All this to say that these are the bad things about subliminals. Subliminals can be used against us, but subliminals can be a good thing when we are aware and we actually digest and really be conscious of what we are taking in. And they could be really, really powerful to reprogram your mind if it has been programmed before. And if it hasn't been programmed before, but I will have to say that living in this day and age, we all have been programmed some way or another. Now that you're conscious of it, you are able to reprogram your mind and basically tune in and move your thoughts into something more authentically you. I would say that if you're really in tune with your intuition, you can always ask. And if anytime you feel anything that doesn't feel right, you are able to discern what is good and what is bad. You don't really need an explanation for it, and you shouldn't need an explanation for it. If something doesn't feel right when you're watching something, when you're listening to something, when you're reading something, then it's not for you. You close it, you turn off the TV, you switch it, and you push it aside. So let's talk about the good in subliminals. Subliminals are amazing, all right? They are amazing. And I'm so happy that we are able to use subliminals for ourselves, because yes, we have been exposed by other subliminals, but we are able to reprogram and fix our mind and elevate ourselves in such a higher state. Luckily, there are many beautiful beings on YouTube who are creative and are able to make their own subliminals in a really positive and amazing way. If you ever look up subliminals on YouTube, you are able to see that there are a wide range of topics that you can choose from. When it's health, relationship with yourself, self-love, all of that amazing things. Sometimes you can even find subliminals that can move you to different timelines. Sometimes you can find subliminals that can unprogram your mind from the negative things that you've been exposed of since you were little. You are able to find all of that on YouTube, and that is such a blessing. One thing I like to say, of course, like with anything, watch the things that your intuition that you feel is right for you. If a video that you click on is a subliminal but it doesn't feel right, change it. Find another subliminal. Sometimes a certain subliminal can be a perfect match for some people, and sometimes a different subliminal can be a perfect match for somebody else. If the vibes aren't right, change it. Find a different subliminal. So as always, I'm going to recommend my girl Julia, who has her own subliminal channel. I will put it in the card above, and I'll put it in the description below. She has amazing subliminals, and the reason why I recommend her so much is because I know how well she basically integrates her energy into things. I know how well she keeps up with her energy. I know how amazing she is. So that's why I always recommend you just to check out her channel just in general. So let's talk about the benefits of working with these high vibrational subliminals. I'm going to label it as that because of course there can be low vibrational subliminals being used on us without our consent. Now, by using high vibrational subliminals with our consent, because of course we're the ones choosing to digest this subconsciously, you are able to see amazing benefits. So depending on the topic you pick, of course, I'm going to use self-love as an example. Subliminals can really reprogram your mind into loving yourself so much. So subconsciously, maybe you don't like the way you look, or maybe something about you is bothering you. Subliminals can reprogram your mind and make you feel so much better about yourself. And the benefits are basically, the things that you are looking really to improve on. So if you're looking to improve on self-love, you will feel that self-love. And it might take some time, and you might have a lot to reprogram, but you will get there. And subliminal is just another tool to aid with whatever you need. You can even create your own visual subliminals if you would like, whether it is maybe watching a video every day that says something like you're beautiful, like you're amazing, or whatever, have it flash on cue, or maybe just have a still image, and like, in a way, a vision board is a perfect example of subliminals, right? It's there. Maybe you acknowledge it every day, or maybe you don't acknowledge it every day, but your subconsciously constantly acknowledges it. So having something like that and being able to visualize it and see those things can actually improve a lot in whatever area that you need help on. And that basically sums up the world of subliminals, the good, the bad, and I would like to say that it can always be good. You can create your reality. You can ask your subconscious to not absorb these negative subliminals. In the description below, I will leave a website that will go more into depth about visual and audio subliminals that are used in our everyday life. So movies, TV show, music, anything that you would like to go more in depth about and really like research these things, because honestly, like looking at the photos and seeing the subliminals being brought to awareness is kind of shocking and maybe can be a little bit frightening, but like I said, it's nothing to be afraid of once you're aware of it, because you control your reality. You are able to reprogram your mind and think positive things. And that is all I have to say. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have anything to add to this conversation or like to hear anything from me, put it in the comments down below. I am open to all types of topics. I love you guys so much. I am sending you a lot of light and love as usual. See you later.